traveling world. Stopped for some lunch. Jimmy John's, always good. We have a nice cool day here in Florida. Nice bright sun, light breeze, in the 70s. Perfect weather to do work on the RV. I've worked on the hot water heater, separate video, and I'd like to share a couple things with you today. A couple modifications I've done. One is the remote for the lift. I've had a lot of questions on that, and the other is a little addition I've done to the dump stack that makes it easier to manage. We typically will put a plastic bag over the cap before we open it, because that tube has a tendency to pressurize in the heat, and of course if there's any fluid in there you don't want that spraying on you. So the bag will capture any spray, but it's also nice to know how much fluid is in there. So we've added a little bit to the stack so we can observe actually how much water is in that stack. A whole nother video about the proper way to dump, or the proper way to avoid having a lot of fluid in that pipe, that dump stack that ends up in the cap and making a mess of everything. So, but we do usually, I'll show you how we use a plastic bag, garbage bag, over the top of the stack to pull it. It only takes once getting sprayed to realize you have to do something. Unfortunately, it was Gail that got sprayed. It was not a pleasant time. She had the idea of the plastic bag covering the stack when you open it, and I had the idea of the extension just to see how much fluid is in there so that you can manage it appropriately. Here we are at the wet bay, and you can see that clear extension on the dump stack and a plastic bag. And all I need to do, observe if there's any fluid in here, and then when you go to take it off, you just put the plastic bag over it and open it, and it will catch any fluid that's in there. Very simple. Just a little tip, you'll see this long length of pipe. That's where the water collects. If your rig is anything but level, it will collect in there. So I always put the jacks down before I empty my stack, and that gets as much fluid it might collect in there out. You can actually tip the RV slightly this way, but I find that level is good enough. There is no fluid collection in there. And also, this pressurizes. When it gets hot, you'll see the two gate valves and this cap closes this whole area off. When it gets hot, or you change altitude, as we did this year, this pressurizes or creates a vacuum, depending on temperature differentials. So sometimes it's difficult to get this off. But when it pressurizes, you'll get a fine mist of dirty water collecting in this area. So just a quick tip, how things make life a little bit easier. This remote I carry with me is run by a 9-volt battery, and I put a circuit board in the RV that receives a signal from this and basically mimics the handheld unit with up, down, in, out. Here you can see up, down, in, out on the board. So here we go. Just wheel up on the ramp, press up, and away we go. At any time, if I take my finger off, it stops. What receives the signal? This circuit board here to receive the signal. We just wired that in to this circuit. It was that simple. Install the box, wire it into the existing handset. I got a nice hook for the handset, so I hang it on the wall so I have it just in case the 9-volt dies. I can always grab that handset and operate the lift. Or if something goes wrong with this circuit, I have the backup of the handset. Just so you can see that there's no magic going on here. There's the handset. There's the circuit board. Here's the remote. That's all that's to it. Simple. Hope you enjoyed this. Take away something. If so, and you liked it, give me a like. Thanks so much. Any questions, of course, feel free. Or comments. You like this, you didn't like that, I was too fast here, too slow. You tell me. Without feedback, I don't really have any idea how I'm being received. So, thank you so much. Have a great day.